Live from Awkwardness Headquarters, aka Kate's room. So, it's been about like a little over a year since I published Kira, and I decided that it'd be really fun to do a Q&A video for y'all. And so I asked for questions on my blog, and you guys sent in some really fun ones. So, before we get started on that, I just wanted to say, Kira, some of you guys who asked questions actually haven't read it, so I'm going to try to keep this pretty spoiler free. But I just wanted to warn you that it might get kind of little spoilery. This is actually my proof copy. Like, inside it's all marked up with some lovely red that tells me, hey, that spacing's doofy, or please change that entire sentence, you know, smiley faces. Here's one page, for those of you who have read it, you probably know what it is. There's one page that I drew like an entire gigantic heart around it because I was like, I'm already marking this up, I might as well have fun. So that's actually the only copy of Kira I have of my own right now. I should probably get myself a beautiful one. But, and then I actually plan to have like a little copy of my short story to show y'all. But I apparently didn't keep enough on hand, so I don't have any of those right now. But it's called The Least of These. It's like a prequel Christmas story. It's about Kira and her family at Christmas time. Some of their friends, like the Moores and Brandon, show up in it too. So, that's pretty fun. If you haven't read it, it's free on Amazon to US readers. And then if you live internationally, if you contact me through my blog, I'd be happy to give you a free copy. I just can't set it for free anywhere but the US. Okay. All of that awkwardness aside, let's get to the questions. So, I first collected some questions from book reviews because I don't usually answer them directly on Goodreads. And the first question I found was one from S.G. Willoughby, and she was wondering what series Kara and Brennan were reading. The answer is, for a while there, I actually didn't know what they were reading. I just knew it was something really special and important. And then actually, as I was writing Kira, I read Heartless. It's more on this. It's right there. Yep. I read Heartless by Anne Elizabeth Stengel, and it was just amazing. Just totally beat me up in the emotions. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if fun's the right word for it. It was really good. Yeah. But anyways, it struck me as a really good book that would cross over between male and female readers and would actually go pretty well with the themes of Kira. So I decided that that was the book Brennan and Kira were reading. Well, I actually haven't read the rest of the series, so I can't recommend it, and some of the little references they had probably don't even happen in the series. So the book she returns on her birthday is for sure Heartless. The rest of it is just kind of my fictional, them enjoying something. So, but great question, thank you. Libby May asked on that same review, she was wondering what Brennan's song was. Remember, they went on a road trip at some point and they're sharing like meaningful songs with each other. The answer is I did not have a specific one in mind actually when I wrote that part. So if you have an idea of what would be a really good song for Brennan, comment with it. I would love to find out what that is. I found another question from a reviewer. They were wondering what genre Kira is, and I gotta tell you that was really hard for me to figure out. It is slightly connected to my brother Paul's book Crossroads, which is like actually dystopian. And I thought my story would be kind of dystopian, but as I was writing it, I began to realize it was a little bit more like women's fiction, where it focuses on their relationships and their life more than like any other plot device. Like, I thought of marketing it as dystopian, which is what it usually gets marked as. Thought of marketing it as YA, though my character is 18, it's a marriage of convenience story, not usually happens in YA. I thought of marketing it as contemporary, but there's a problem with that. I'll explain in a minute. I thought of marketing as a romance, except for there's two parallel storylines. The romance, yes, and then her relationship with God. So it was more like, yeah, I don't know. So and then marketing as contemporary, the time period it's set in is about 20 years in the future, and we can never really know the future like accurately unless any of you guys know how to time travel. Let me know, because I would love to know how. So what kind of the tack I took with it is I took some of the problems we're having now, some of the religious persecution, some of the political struggles in other countries, some of the climate problems, and I just put them in the story just a little bit. So it's basically a contemporary story with those problems like turned up a little bit. So it's meant to feel like it could fit into our generation, but then also some of the things I did with the storyline, try not to spoil it, are not actually happening in the US yet. So I felt the need to set it a little bit in the future. So that was a little bit hard for tech as well. Like, I didn't want to say she used her smartphone or her tablet or something, or have them have those cool holographic stuff like in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or the Avengers movies, right? Because I don't know what we're gonna have. So I actually just had them kind of have these ambiguous tablet thingies that worked like a phone or a computer, and they were obviously they could kind of like switch them around to whatever they needed. And I just called them devices. So they're self-driving cars, they're devices, but it looks pretty much like yours in my world. So, but yeah, I appreciate that question. It was really hard to decide what genre to market it as, and I will probably debate that to the end of time because I'm apparently not a genre author. Okay, let's see. So the questions I got on my blog. Thank you guys so much for sending in questions. It was really fun to read through everybody's and just see what you were thinking about. So I got some from someone, her username is Penny the Bean, which is adorable. She said, where did you get the idea for Kira? And then later down in the comments, Katya asked like what sparked the idea for your story, which is a great way to put it. So thank you both for that question. Early in, when was it? I think it was 2015. I had a story idea for this young woman who was engaged to someone, and then he becomes a martyr for the Christian faith. And just kind of like her life and her struggles with that and what she ends up doing outside of that, or after that, actually, how she deals with it. So I had this idea for this really big story, and it was maybe going to be about him, and she's going to be a side character, kind of like a Bonhoeffer storyline. But I had been writing a lot of fantasy at that time, and I really felt like I needed to get back into like writing, like what does Kate know, right? So I chose a character that was like almost the same age as me. I think she's a little younger, almost the same age as me, and I just set her in like a regular life, almost the same life as me. It got tweaked, and I'm not gonna tell how because this is a spoiler. That storyline got tweaked and made into kind of like a side plot in this. I also ran across a C.S. Lewis quote that kind of pulled my theme together for me. I really wanted to write a romance that like dealt with true love being more than just emotion, being sacrifice and stuff like that. So it was a lot of stuff just brewing in my head that kind of came together into the story. So, in fact, I just kind of started writing the first scene with the storm, her doing her homework, really, really normal life, and it just kind of went from there. At one point, I sat down finally and plotted it, which is really important, and I'd say the story morphed a little bit as it went, but it stayed pretty much like that. Let's see. She also asked what my favorite writing snack is. So, this is kind of funny. We did, my brother wrote his novel Crossroads during NaNoWriMo. And so, as a family, we were all just kind of part of his process, just supported him. And, we would have writing parties where we'd all sit around and write and have snacks. And the snacks we usually got were like bulk snacks from the grocery store, like hot tamales, candy corn, and like chocolate pretzels or something. So those aren't necessarily like my absolute favorite snacks, but I actually have really good memories connected with them. So whenever we have another writing party and eat those, I always just kind of get that happy feeling of that time. So, I don't know. And then she said, most importantly, if we can see water but not air, does that mean fish can see air but not water? Wait a second. So I can see water, but I can't see air because I live in it all the time. Fish live in water all the time. So can they see air? I'm not a scientist or a fish. So you probably want to ask one of those people. And I wish you good luck in your search for information. Okay, Rosie asked, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard was it to write Kira? Let's see, so like 1 is everything goes perfectly, and then 10 is one of those days where you're just like writing and then backspacing and writing and then backspacing, right? That's like our metric. Okay. It probably bounced around in the middle, like between 4 and 6. I don't know. Like I said, I tried to root it like really in what I know. There were some scenes, some details that caused me a lot of trouble. That's more in like editing though. The writing was just like, do it, have fun. She also said, if all of a sudden every copy and shred of evidence of Kira on Earth was destroyed, would you rewrite it? And she said, let's hope that doesn't happen though. I appreciate you saying, let's hope that doesn't happen. I hope it doesn't happen too. I don't think so. I think I would write something with similar themes because God's love for you, God's love for people, your love for people, pro-life, adoption. Those are all themes that are like very close to my heart, right? And I'm a person somewhat like my character Kira, so there will probably end up being something similar, but I don't think I'd ever write the exact same story.